Hi guys, we're using the this is the week of let's start again. This is the week of March 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. 8th through the 14th, and we're using the Goddesses deck, and we're also using the Ascended Masters deck. And here's what we got. This past week has been filled with lots of transitions and lots of changes, so let's see what they have to say. For the first message, we got Dana, High Priestess. You have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. And Yogananda, choose peace. It says choose peace right there. So basically they're asking you to be very peaceful in your interactions with other people, to maybe pray and meditate a bit more. You might not be doing it as much. With this, it feels like you do have some sort of spiritual understanding. You're able to see the bigger picture, maybe other people are not. And you're being asked to sort of help them or show them or talk to them about the bigger picture so they don't get lost in the small details sometimes when you're having differences or disagreements. In the middle of the week, we got 4 cards, by the way, for both decks. In the middle of the week, we have Kali, we have endings and beginnings, and it says the old must be released so that the new can enter. And she's really known for helping with that, with transitions. And we have the goddess Teothet, or I always have a hard time pronouncing his name, but it basically talks about writing. So basically the combined message, hold on one second, the combined message is that in order for you to handle the new beginnings and new endings, not to get so thrown by it that it's a part of the transitions and the changes. And then the other part of it too is that if you are writing your affirmations, if you're visualizing and affirming what you're wanting, it helps create it. Specifically this past week, a lot of people were talking to me about family healings and how people were having differences with their family, and it was hard for certain people to even want to deal with family or even talk about the differences. And I kept finding myself saying, could you please write down their names and say, you know, John is more understanding and loving and compassionate. Maria has more understanding about mental illness. Theodore now loves his brothers and sisters and forgives them. Things like that, because you actually need to be more specific so that the specific healings can actually occur in your family, so that things can change, because they will. With the other part of the middle of the week, we got Irene, the goddess Irene. It says peace. There's no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. And she's holding a child, and she's holding also some fruit indicating abundance, so that everything, you know, you're going to get all the money, love, and support you'll need, the resources. And then also your children and your family are safe. And the fact that there's, you know, a nature background behind her, it makes me also feel like I feel like they're telling me that Earth is safe too. A lot of you are worried about how Earth is handling all of these changes and shifts. Earth will be just fine. It just is going through changes much like the rest of us, and that's what feels so unsettling. It's Lord Apollo with focus upon your strengths. And if you notice, he's holding up his hands, and there's a bunch of light. And what he's saying to me as I'm holding up the card is, all of you have lots of light in your hand chakras. And so to remember that when you're praying, to remember that when you're sending prayers to someone, that you can send energy through your hand chakras, or you can visualize light flowing through you to someone else. And also just to remember to make a list of positive, good things about yourself, your life, the things and the people in it, so that you stay on a more positive note, so that you don't get so lost in the negativity, as a lot of people got discouraged this week. I can tell you that. Everyone in my practice and the people around me were just having a hard time dealing with things that kept presenting themselves. I myself am exhausted. I was up late last night, so if this reading is a bit shorter, I apologize, but it just, it really can't be helped, I suppose. And the last part of the week is health, healing, and Nementona, sacred space. So the goddesses are just reminding you to connect with your sacred space because it does fuel your energy. And it says, create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. And she has a bunch of candles and her face is amidst them. And then for this, there's health and healing. The really big, powerful message I get with this, though, is that there is a lot of health. People's health are improving and people's healing abilities are getting stronger. People's interests in learning how to heal and the various techniques have definitely developed, and people are much more willing to integrate different things. You know, plants, minerals, supplements, gemstones, using natural methods like being out in nature, drinking certain kinds of water, you know, eliminating the chemicals. So it just makes me feel like when they're showing me his hands and the heart, and you see how it's all lit up, they're showing me Earth right in the middle of his heart center. So Earth is healing, you are healing, everything is going to be moving to a place of peace and of health and harmony. But the way to do that, though, is to stay centered in the divine and to keep thinking to yourself, you know, how am I connected to God? How do I feel like God loves me? How do I know that God talks to me? What are the signs? And, you know, this is where your journaling can kind of come in handy. This is why I suggest, and also the angels have suggested to you, to pray and meditate, just to spend some time with them, because they want you to reflect. So much happens each day that in order for you to really gain an understanding and move forward with the right attitude and the right action, you really do have to think about all the things that happened yesterday, because so much happens in a day nowadays. They're really packing in the amount of learning that happens. I just feel like the weeks, they fly by, but they feel so chock full of experiences. This year has just flown, but again, it just feels very like a lot has happened, and there's just a lot more to happen. Is this the sense I'm getting as well? So that is the message. It's a message about health and healing and reconnecting to the divine, and affirming what you want and asking for their help, especially with the if you're perceiving any beginning or endings and you're perceiving it as either sad or stressful, just ask for their help. You know, whoever you believe in, whatever spiritual entity you believe in, just ask them, you know, please help me make this transition smooth, because it feels like a lot right now. Okay, guys, have a great night. And for those of you who are wondering why I'm not showing my face, the lighting in here is not the best, and I'm still waiting. I will get the camera in about 2 weeks, and then we'll go back to the usual format. I'm hoping the camera will help things. But have a good night. Okay, bye. Oh, one more thing. I am praying for your health and happiness. The gods, goddesses, guides, ascended masters, saints, they're all flooding you with love and light. So just picture yourself at the end of this, as you're turning off this video, just being flooded with rainbow light, purple, blue, green, gold, yellow, orange, silver, and then gold again. And the other important thing is to ask them to help you heal during sleep, and then ask them to show you the next step, so that way that helps with everything. Okay, guys, have a good night.